like, what is this? What is this? You
I mean,
know?
he said that, you know, he doesn't think so. I mean, do you think he's just trying to get attention by saying that, or do you think he's honestly thinks that the Earth's flat?
Jeremy, do you think the Earth is flat?
Yeah. You guys all know that. I didn't hear the math that curved was said just now, but I mean, I don't know what the on a flat Earth, the ground would still ramp up, the sky would still ramp down like it does, and you'd have a point where they appear to meet.
Yeah, but they actually explained to you how that was incorrect, and then Flashburn put a picture in the chat for you to look at to show you how that's not the right way to think of. So I don't what are you just asking questions that you're going to keep getting an answer to, but you're going to refute, like say I refuse to accept?
I'm not asking no questions. We know that the ground ramps up due to perspective, and the sky ramps down due to perspective. That shit ain't going to change no matter what you're standing on. So they can say whatever they want, but it don't mean shit because that's how it works. We know that.
The translation of that is, let me be ignorant.
Well, at least he understood that it's going to ramp up regardless of whether it's flat or curved. There are flat earthers who think that it would not ramp up, as they say.
That's perspective.
No, what you said before about people, you asked why wouldn't there be a horizon on a flat Earth? Well, because you would just be able to keep zooming in indefinitely, and everything that disappears would either just become too small to see, or the atmosphere eventually would block it out.
From turbidity? Yeah, probably.
Turbidity.
So the difference is the flat Earth would not have a hard, crisp horizon behind which things drop behind. Flat Earth would not have that.
If you were standing at the beach, you would look out, no optics or nothing. You would look out, and you would see this point that where the ground was ramping up and the sky was ramping down, and they appear to meet. Same as we'd see it now.
Yeah, but that's not the point of contention.
What's the point of contention?
On a flat Earth, things wouldn't disappear bottom to top. They would just get too small to see or disappear behind an increasingly thick layer of haze.
That's because you guys deny. Go ahead, mister.
I was going to say the atmosphere, which is more dense near the bottom, could cause a mirage effect, causing you to think that it's a horizon, but it's just an illusion.
No, it's not gonna create a crisp, obvious horizon line. It would create miraging effects, yeah, and things could disappear behind that.
It would only look crisp from your point of view. The more you zoom in, you realize there is a lot of distortion, a lot of artifacts due to whatever, diffraction or whatever you want to call it, the scattering of the light rays. So, but from a distance, it would look sharp. You know what I mean? Kind of like how, Neil deGrasse Tyson says that the Earth is a ball, and it's more smoother than a bowling ball in comparison if a bowling ball is the size of Earth. So,
yeah.
It's been explained
from a distance.
So the issue,
how to measure what it is that he is proposing is occurring. To see if it is not happening.
We're talking about
hang on.
We're talking about.
Please stop. I want to respond to that.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say what I wanted to say in response to it as well.
Good. There's the issue with saying that at a distance it's a crisp, clear horizon, but then when you zoom in, you see that it's not. Well, there are horizons. There are hundreds of examples of horizons that are crisp when you zoom in too. So your explanation about the atmosphere somehow causing things to be obstructed through miraging, that it doesn't work. It doesn't cover every single situation.
My thing is over water. It might be, I don't know, whatever you call it, looming refraction of the water itself in the air due to your angle. You know what I mean? So as you rise up, that same effect would be further off in the distance. Now it takes more distance to get into the same amount of distortion. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a book, or
You can
you know, I'd say it's kind of hard to explain like a book, but I mean like the pages. You know how you open it up and you see more and more of the letters within the book to where you get to the seam. It's kind of like that. It's like it pulls back in the distance, and if the lower you get, all of a sudden you're in a more dense medium. Therefore, the effect can be a lot closer. I may be wrong, but that's just what I see. Back when I had my P90, P900, I was seeing that. I was zooming in and seeing that, you know, from a distance, it looked like a very sharp, which I never noticed before, horizon. But then when I zoomed in, all of a sudden I recognized that these seagulls and people on wave runners, you know, were disappearing. And the seagulls, when they would go down towards the surface, they were gone. I mean, like, this was about 3 miles away from me. I noticed the seagull. It was like they were going behind a wall, you know, like a wall of water. And then, you know, throughout the year, that wall would be further back, and I could see way out to the Gulf. And then, you know, other parts of the year, I could only see so far out into the bay to where the islands.
Right. There are lots and lots of videos where you have much larger objects being obstructed. So I don't know what kind of miraging you're imagining, but it's a kind not known to man if you're thinking that it's causing ships that are, you know, cruise liners to disappear.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be at a pretty far distance, right? The distance I was seeing, like, I would say anywhere between 3 to 5 miles according to the temperature where I was at. And it was it was boats, it was people on sea-doos and boats. I'd just see the tip of their heads. You know what I mean? Like I'd zoom in, I could see their heads.
What's causing the big boats to disappear?
And it looked like their heads were floating. But throughout the year, that distance changed dramatically. Where I could see like 2 miles further because we had a 5-mile buoy.
Yeah, I gotcha. What's causing the big boats to disappear?
I think it's a looming. I think it's probably a looming effect. That's what I think. Kind of like how the moon compresses up into itself. It seems like the water surface might be doing the same thing.
You know what happens right now when we go out to the beach? We look at a boat go away from us, and it gets so small that it disappears, and we can't see anymore. Then we fucking zoom back in, just like you guys were talking about. We zoom right back in, and there's the boat.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen, Jeremy, and there are many situations where you have a boat that is big enough to see with your naked eye, and you can see it go over the horizon. So what you're saying is not true of every situation, and you are providing no explanation for when it is true.
When it appears to be getting blocked by something, it's probably due to the. Go ahead.
And you'll notice too the words on the boat. Like if it says like Starline or something on the bottom of the boat, you'll notice that the words, they will compress up. They'll look squished. And there's lots of videos on that where you can see something starting to happen. And then all of a sudden, it'll be at a certain distance where you can have it. I'm sorry, I'm choking.
Mr. Reality, there are also videos where that doesn't happen, where there is no significant amount of squishing and the boat just goes behind the horizon.
Right, and the horizon, I would say, is a looming effect of the water creating an artificial horizon, or what seems to appear as the horizon.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, I mean, that's just what I've experienced. Now.
No, you have not experienced that.
Yes, I have. I haven't.
No, that's an explanation you're coming up with.
No, okay. Now I've been places where if places on the ocean and stuff, Atlantic and different islands and stuff, but I haven't had a chance to actually observe a giant ship go far enough when I actually had a nice camera to observe but I've just seen these videos of the words themselves. Now that's just right before it starts to disappear. bottom up, right? I see the squishing. Man,
wow.
I should definitely record this. Hey, can I use that for a loop in one of my songs?
Yeah, we didn't get word of that.
What's up?
Yeah, you just.
That wasn't me talking, I don't think.
No, whoever it was, we didn't hear a word of it.
I said this debate makes me sick.
Yeah, it's definitely you, Jeremy.
My man speaking a robot language.
100, 200 years.
No, Jeremy, you're robot into. Oh,
Jeremy, you're breaking up really badly.
He's just dropped out.
Ah. You're back, Jeremy.
Am I good?
No, it's awful.
Check. Still bad?
There you go.
Oh, good.
No, you've gone again, Jeremy.
Alright.
Well, hold on, that was good.
Yeah, and I'm not even moving. I'm in the same spot, so.
Yeah, that's alright now, yeah.
Maybe the satellite orbiting space wasn't right above me or something.
Up and down, you know?
We're going to be debating this for the next 100, 200 years, any time until commercial or.
Oh yeah, because you said you were sick of the debate. What are you sick of?
It's just the same shit nonstop, over and over again.
What's the same
because
stuff?
flat earthers have nothing to present.
Oh, you're breaking up again, Jeremy. What's the same stuff?
It's the same. The Globers say this.
Jeremy, you've got just refresh or something. I get what you're saying.
This is how it is.
No, Jeremy, you completely roboted then. Completely. I think it's maybe your internet. Just turn it off and turn it on, like a reset. That should fix it. Or just try your mic.
Maybe the turbidity is interfering with his internet connection.
It could be the particulates in the atmosphere. Absolutely.
Chemo, fucking Belo's talking about Christ. He's saying, yeah, I found one with English subtitle. Okay. He says, hold on. He's got startling information about Earth, about the origin of man on Earth, about the presence of Christ.
Okay.
The whole truth.
But Chris, I mean, these things are just simply to
the architect of the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, but obviously 60 days later happened. I don't know if he ever came back though.
Sorry, I mean, these are just attempts to discredit flat Earth, Chris. That's all.
They don't need that came on. You discredit yourself. Just
you do need things like this. Otherwise, people won't find it so funny. You need the Beelus of the world. You need the tinfoil hatters. There's not enough tinfoil hatters for the globe earthers' liking, right? I've just watched Conspiracy Cats. And Conspiracy Cats, he really looks for like the so-called craziest flat earther. He would never take on anyone who knows their arguments. You know, he looks for almost
what are
the
you
beginner.
Even talking about?
Conspiracy Cats. I just watched Conspiracy Cats' latest video, and he's just the way he attacks flat earthers without actually arguing. So he's just there to ridicule them.
There is no argument.
The thing was, Chemo, that their experiments were fucking bollocks too, right? Because Sly Sparkane, you remember the radio wave one where they used those little two dishes and they were going, connection, fucking whatever. We have remote fucking control of the computer and all that shit. Sly Sparkane fucking blew that up and discovered that it was over like maybe a kilometre or something, and they were claiming it was over like 10 times what it actually was.
Yeah, but Sly Sparkane is suspect, right?
Well, yeah, but Chemo, how could he be suspect if he fucking took the screenshot of their computer, blew it up, and then showed what it said on the fucking computer? How is that suspect? You could have done that yourself to confirm it.
If we'd have done this here together as a collective...
I saw that it was fucking true.
No, I mean, if we'd have done this together as a collective... Then yeah, but...
Flat earthers are fundamentally dishonest.
I don't think it's something that we could do here, Chris, ourselves, right? As this group, as this collective here.
No, you could have went to the video and took the screenshot yourself, blew it up, and had a look. That's what you could have done for yourself, Chemo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think
that's anyone... I'm not talking about Sly Sparkane reproduced the experiment. I'm saying in that experiment, in the Convex Earth documentary, they show the computer and it shows the strength of the signal and it shows the distance and because of the time of the ping. And they were claiming that it was over like, I don't know, 10 kilometers or something, and the thing was over like 1 kilometer or something. I can't remember the exact figures, but they misrepresented it.
What did you think about the no trees on flat Earth one?
Well, that was fucking retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, if the idea is that they were giant...
It's not interesting. It's not interesting at all. It's just
I've been led to believe the no trees and flat Earth thing was a deliberate fucking piss take of flat Earth.
Oh, prank.
No, just a piss take. You don't need psyops.
Like a prank, you mean, right? Like a Russian prank.
No, as far as I know, that no trees and flat Earth. I mean, when I saw fucking the stream, Jeremy's, that, I mean, it made me question whether that's true or not. It made me question whether or not the guy was actually serious. But we have 200 billion years, and who cut the tree? Like, I mean, fucking hell.
You know, my uncle lost a leg in the war. He has a stump. Is he a tree?
No, it's just a remarkable coincidence how these mountains could possibly be ancient trees once now chopped down, you see?
Oh, don't be fucking silly, Kimo.
Things look like other things sometimes. Yeah, that's a fact of life.
Well, no, because we know the oxygen was higher a long time ago. Oxygen has decreased.
That's a Hovind argument, I believe. I don't know if it's actually true. I think it might be.
If you're going to say there were going to say that there were dinosaurs that were very large, well, how did they get so large? And that would obviously be.
I don't think that was due to higher oxygen concentration.
How did they get so large?
I mean, I could be wrong in that.
How did they get so large?
Did you know your friend Kent Hovind is suing the US government for $500 million?
What for?
For breaking God's laws.
Yeah.
So it was asked a question. It was asked a question about a Bible verse. He says, "Kent, is this Bible verse true?" And the guy was about to read it out, and Kent went, "You don't need to read it out. Whatever you're going to say, It's true. It's in the Bible.
Right.
So basically, all anyone needs to say to Kent is render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and he's fucked.
Yep. So I have a question. How does a lower oxygen content turn wood into basalt?
I don't know.
How does that work?
But we know if you increase the oxygen...
That's what those mountains are made of.
Yeah, but we know that if you increase the...
That's columns of basalt.
Yeah, but we know if you increase the oxygen in plants, they grow larger, right?
Into basalt?
No, the plants grow larger.
Because it's basalt. It's chemically, physically basalt. It's not wood, dude. Right. You can't say, well, I see a bunch of rocks that look like something, so I'm going to say that's what it is. You can't say that.
No, a tree's a plant, right? So if you give that tree more oxygen...
Why is anyone taking this seriously? It's fucking obviously a piss take.
A mountain cannot a plant can't turn into a mountain, into rock, because of a lower oxygen content, man.
Oh, well, this is where the flood comes into play, right? So those things.
Yeah, okay, sure. So water can turn wood into basalt.
No, again, if there's a flood, flash flood, things can solidify and fossilize
and turn wood into basalt
over time. We've seen that, yeah.
Really? Okay. Show me the citation that says that.
Well, we can.
I know you're still working on like the citations people have been asking you for years that you've never been able to come up with. You know, every time it's, well, I'll come back in a couple of weeks and I'll show you this proof.
Yeah, but how would a citation prove either way? So the citation would say, yeah, the tree is not. This is not a tree, or it is a tree, and how would they know that it is a tree or it's not a tree?
Through chemical testing? No, I want a citation that says that wood, through exposure to a lower oxygen content than when it grew, and water, salt water namely, can turn that wood into basalt.
Yeah, time, because they haven't been around for that long.
No, show me a citation. Show me a citation that
you're not listening, are you?
Possible.
If they haven't been around long enough,
I am listening, and you're trying to avoid the question.
You're asking for a miracle in 5 minutes. How can you perform something like that? That takes a lot of time. How can there be a citation?
You have to prove that that's chemically possible, and you can't.
This is the point. Nobody's been back in those days. Test the amount of time of when things can change from one thing to another.
Yeah, that's an excuse, but you have to cite.
How can you cite that?
That is possible for wood to convert into basalt. Can't do it.
Yeah,
all water does to wood is preserve it as wood.
No, not if the conditions are right.
Yes, absolutely. Isn't able to be oxidized, or a very low oxidation, and it doesn't break down. They have timbers that have been submerged underwater for hundreds of years, and they build houses with them, and they're stronger. They're still wood, dude.
Queen Mary 2, not Queen Mary 2. What was Henry VIII's ship?
Well, I mean, look, that was just something. Like I say, it was just a good idea. Possibly, you're taking it way too seriously, Sean. We will never know. What we will know, though, Sean, is the here and now, right now. We will know today. What we will know today, Sean, is the shape of the Earth and what it is and what it's not. So we can rule out globe. We can rule out any curved.
No, we can't.
Yeah, of course we can.
No, we can't.
Because you wouldn't.
It's been measured. It's been measured as spherical.
Well, who's measured it?
For thousands of years, it's been measured as spherical.
How did they measure it?
Different ways.
Yeah, name one way.
Sticks in the ground.
Sticks in the ground are not going to measure the curvature of the Earth. The curvature.
Stars overhead. Boats going over the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, explain to me how sticks in the ground measure curvature and the rate of curvature. How do sticks in the ground measure the rate of curvature?
The geometry only works on a curved surface.
Yeah, how do sticks in the ground measure the rate of curvature or the drop?
Because of the length of a shadow they cast. It's trigonometry.
Yeah, so go on then. Let's hear it. Let's hear it then. How do you do it? You got a stick in the ground, then what?
You measure the... Don't act ignorant, dude. Don't act naive.
Why are you talking about things you don't even know, Sean?
Why is that not a legitimate question?
Because you can't measure curvature with a stick in the ground.
No, Kimo, I'm saying that he should answer your question.
Right, what's the problem? Sean, you're talking about things that you don't know. Sticks in the ground, you said. Let's go.
Right. Okay, let's say you've got angle to Polaris. Let's use that.
An angle to Polaris. How high is Polaris?
You've got Polaris that is dead center over the North Pole. This is a fact.
But how far away is Polaris?
If you walk 69 miles out on a flat Earth from dead set under Polaris, you walk 69 miles south, that star will not drop at 1 degree.
I agree.
You walk another 69 miles, it will not drop another degree.
Okay, that's if. Now, where have you... Okay, fine.
Now, on a curved surface, if you walk 69 miles south, 1 degree. It doesn't equate to a flat Earth. What we see in reality doesn't equate to the geometry you'd expect on a flat Earth.
No, sure, what you're describing is the model. In reality, this doesn't happen.
No, I'm describing what I see from observation.
No, you haven't traveled 69 miles and seen 1 degree.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Show me.
Yeah, because when I set my telescope up now, it's set up at 39.777 degrees.
Why did you set it up at that?
If I go down to San Francisco, it's going to be lower. It's going to be set at a lower.
You're giving me a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs. If this, if that. Can you verify any of this, Sean?
That delta angle will.
No, we can't be verifying. You're just going to tell me a story.
Miles north I had to come to set my telescope up now.
Okay, so can we get this verified so we can move on?
Yes, you can call anybody on the planet and ask them if they have a telescope. And if they say yes, what angle did you have to set it up at to be centered on Polaris? And they will tell you their latitude.
They don't
even have to tell you their latitude.
Right, so can we see this?
No,
I'm calling Sean. I'm calling Sean. Sean, you got a telescope. You got a telescope. Yeah, you got a telescope. Right, can you demonstrate for me the angles that you were just describing?
Yeah, I can. Here, hold on.
Have a look.
Last night.
Show me Polaris at 90 degrees. That's what I want to see.
Video isn't available, so well, if you go to the North Pole, you will.
Yeah.
But
Sean, let's see your angles.
Ask him what you do with the stick.
Sorry, what?
Chris wants to know what you do with a stick because you brought up sticks.
Right, sticks in the ground. That's trigonometry. On a flat surface.
Stop telling me what would and wouldn't work. Tell me how you did this. I put a stick in the ground, then what did you do next?
I didn't do this. Eratosthenes did this. And it's been done ever since. Fight the Flat Earth. Craig and a bunch of people, hundreds of people, did it.
Good work.
Flat Earthers were invited to participate in the experiment, but they all declined. 100% of them declined.
Well, let's have a look at it then, Sean. Where is it?
It's on Fight the Flat Earth channel.
Right, give me the timestamp.
This guy thought water vapor wasn't gas the other day. I mean, I don't even know why you're fucking with this guy.
No, I said it's in a gaseous state, but then I was corrected that it's an actual gas, and I corrected myself. So I don't believe that anymore. So you can just.
So, Sean, it sounds to me, that you have a religious belief. You rely on other people.
No, it sounds to me like you have a religious belief that
I do have a religious belief. I believe that Jesus died on the cross. I believe Jesus rose from the dead, and I believe that Jesus died for our sins. That's my religion. That's my belief. Now, do you have a same religious belief, Sean, or not?
I don't have faith in science alone.
But you have faith in Fight the Flat Earth.
Through evidence.
You have faith in Fight the Flat Earth.
No, I've seen.
No,
I've
right.
Seen his
so,
work.
Do you have a measurement to show that the Earth is actually curving?
I am referencing something that he did. I'm not putting my faith in him.
Right. So, what can we put our faith? What should we put our faith in?
Faith in a God and in a Bible.
All right, Sean. What should we? Can we get to the point, Sean? What should we put our faith in?
In science. In
we should believe in science. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Just believe in science because they say so. That they've made a measurement.
No, believe in science because you have evidence that science is correct.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it repeatable?
Yes. Absolutely.
Why haven't you repeated it then, Sean?
That's what gives it the
So then why haven't you repeated it?
I have.
So let's have a look at it then. That's what we're asking.
At what? Look at what?
What you repeated, the science that you have faith in, that you've repeated.
I don't have a camera. Can't do it with a camera. Camera's turned off here.
So you can't do it with a camera. So you've done it, but you can't do it with a camera. So what have you done exactly?
No, I can't show you my telescope right now.
So I should have faith in you now, then, right?
The camera's turned off here.
So I don't have a telescope, Sean.
You want, dude. I don't give a shit. But we put our faith in science because we can prove what science says.
So let's go through it. You got a telescope. You look at Polaris. Sean, calm down. You got your telescope.
I know you like to interrupt me right in the middle of things, but that's what gives science the benefit of the doubt, is repeatability and the scientific method.
Okay, so you look at this.
That's what gives you the burden of proof to prove that wrong.
So Sean, you're looking at the star through a telescope. How does it prove the Earth is curving?
If it changes, if that star drops 1 degree for every 69 miles you walk south, every single time you walk 69 miles south until you get to the equator, and that star is at the horizon.
But we expect that on a flat Earth, though, Sean. What's the problem?
That's proof of an impossible.
No, but we would expect that on a flat Earth. If you're saying that...
No, you wouldn't. I've demonstrated this. If you're at the horizon, if you're at the equator, the sun would be about 30 degrees above the
horizon. Hold on. Is that the physical horizon? Is that the physical sun, or the apparent horizon, the apparent sun?
You don't know what the physical horizon is?
That's what I'm asking. When you made your measurement, because we expect what you're saying on a flat Earth because of the atmosphere and turbidity and suspended matter.
The thing we see between the Earth and the sky, the division between
we expect all of this on a flat plane.
It's not even to the horizon. It's from vertical.
Sure.
So it's
this is expected on a flat plane because of turbidity.
Minus 90 degrees. So that's what that measurement. You don't have to do it to the horizon. You can take from vertical down. So you don't even have to mess with all that black swan crap, right?
So from the vertical to where, Sean?
Is Rod Serling selling cameras? Does Rod Serling sell cameras? He's dead, but does he have a company that is selling these magic cameras that change the physical size of a measured object because you take a picture of them? Where's this magic camera at?
No.
That's the camera that took the picture of the black swan. If that photo removed the radius of the Earth, that's a magic picture. That's a magic camera, man.
No, it's falsified the model. It hasn't done anything to the Earth, Sean.
No, it's bullshit. It's. See, the other day, Quantum Eraser went through and he covered the 5 different types of refraction. You've got looming and blah, 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 blah. And he said looming is how refraction makes things come up. And he said that's a possibility. He established that fact. And then he gave his modus tollens was that every horizon must be at 1.2 miles, which is ridiculous because he previously in the same video, he stated that the apparent horizon is different than the geometric horizon. See, the geometric horizon is the point of tangency. That does not change no matter how you look at it.
Right.
Okay? It changes with your viewer height, but it does not change at 0 degree, at 0 inches altitude, at 0 altitude. That point of tangency will never change, ever. No photograph you can present will change the size of the Earth. It'll make it look different size. But, if I take a picture of my car that's halfway up the street, halfway up the hill here, about 5 blocks away, and it looks teeny, does that mean that car now is actually teeny and I can't get into it? Because the picture that I see...
For goodness sake, Sean, take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath.
That's what your black swan is. It's a load of bullshit.
Take a breath. Relax a little bit.
Liars that are trying
You're panicking, Sean.
No
need to panic, right?
Lose fucking money.
You've only lost the globe. There's no need to panic.
You're intellectually and fundamentally dishonest, Kimo.
Now, remember... Okay, that's fine. Now, remember, all we've done is debunk the model, the heliocentric model.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Well, you're not.
You've shown a bullshit photo that takes refraction, that shows refraction, massive refraction, which is part of the heliocentric model.
So for you to say,
part of the model.
for you to say that the camera changes the size of the Earth, that's not what's happening. All we've done, Sean, is take a measurement of a height of 1 foot, and according to your model, the model, remember, not the Earth. The Earth itself didn't say I am 3959. You said the Earth was 3959. So all we're doing is looking at your model, which says 3959, and we're going according to that. So the horizon is constantly moving and changing. It can be in front of an object and behind the object. That cannot happen on a physical globe. That's what you're not understanding.
It most certainly fucking can, dude, because of refraction.
And I understand Jeremy saying, oh, this is getting boring and stressful. And the reason why, Jeremy, is because the globe earthers don't understand the argument, right? So it's like trying to explain the argument to them over and over again. Now, Sean is absolutely freaking out, which is fine.
No, I'm just trying to ask you a question.
Okay, what's the question?
Show me any company, any steel company that sells steel beams to make a boom arm out of that look like the ones in the Black Swan photo.
They don't. They don't, Sean.
Okay, then that means why? That there's refraction in the
Not
photo,
refraction,
right?
Sean. Distortion.
Refraction.
Not
yes,
refraction, distortion, Sean.
Absolutely refraction.
It's distortion.
No, it's refraction, dude. Any change, any redirection of light is refraction.
Yeah, we're just looking at distorted light.
Right, which is refraction.
It's not refracting. It's not bending anywhere, is it?
In the laws of optics, causes light to curve down.
No, because it's constantly moving.
That's what refraction does.
No, because in that photograph, you're looking at a still. That bending of the crane will be constantly moving position.
What are you talking about?
So this static image of the crane where you see it bent, that will be constantly on the move. So, for example, if you were to stay in that location over for 1 day, you would start to see a perfectly straight crane and then a distorted crane.
When refraction is at its least.
Not refraction, just distortion in the atmosphere.
Yes, refraction. No, that's what the distortion is. It's refraction, man. You're lying.
But where's the light bending? What's it bending around?
All through. It's bending around the sphere, causing the water behind the
No, in the crane, the bendy crane, where's the light? What's it bending around?
What do you mean? What's it?
You said the crane is refracting. So what's it? Where's the bending of light?
The light coming from the crane is refracted. It's not going directly into our eyes. It's being changed by the atmosphere.
Yeah, but how is it? What's it bending around? It's in straight lines, right?
Bending around.
It's being changed by the atmosphere, dude. It doesn't have to bend around anything.
That's my point. So you're just looking at a distorted picture.
If I take a piece of wood and I flex it, what am I bending it around?
Well, is that refracting that piece of wood now then?
No, it's bending the piece of wood, man.
So it's not refracting, it's just...
What is the piece of wood being bent around?
That's the point.
Yes, the point is you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What, you're talking about a distorted picture versus light bending around something.
You're using word games and a magic camera to try and debunk the shape of the Earth that's been measured for 3,000 fucking years, dude. Wake the fuck up. You're an idiot.
Well, all we've been able to do is debunk the model. That's simply it. The Earth hasn't changed size.
No, you haven't. You haven't been able to debunk the model, dude. You're delusional.
Well, the model says that the Earth has a radius of... Well, the model...
You're an idiot.
The model...
You're full of fucking cheese, dude. You're a fucking moron.
Well, the model says it has a radius...
Damn it, man.
Well, we're told that the model is... We're told that we have a radius of 3959, so all we have to do to figure that out and do some calculations is go to an observation point and look at where the horizon might be or where an object behind that and calculate how much should or shouldn't be seen there. Sure, it's not that difficult.
Right, and if you can see more, it's because it's heavier refracted. It's more refraction, dude.
What? So you're saying the horizon...
Refraction changes what we see. It doesn't change the physical size of the fucking object.
Okay, so you're saying the horizon, that's at 1.22 miles, physically has now refracted backwards.
Point of tangency.
Or away from you.
You don't see that. You don't see that point. You see what refraction allows you to see that point to be.
So if
you don't, your brain isn't together enough to understand this simple thing, man.
So if the Earth is 3959, then the physical horizon should be 1.22 miles away. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Bear that in your mind for, let that settle there, Sean. That's where the physical, on your globe, on the model, that's where, in reality, the physical horizon is. Now, you're saying...
the point of tangency without atmosphere.
So what you're saying, essentially, is that the horizon behind that 1.22 miles is being refracted behind it.
Being refracted up, yes, absolutely.
So the physical horizon, which is in front of it, is now refracting backwards.
And if you have heavy refraction, you have a heavier medium at sea level than you would normally have.
So you're saying the physical horizon, that's 1.22 miles away, is bending...
The optical horizon.
Sorry?
The apparent horizon, not the physical horizon. The point of tangency never changes, no matter how you look at it, dude.
But there is a physical horizon at 1.22 miles away, right?
There's a point of tangency.
But there is so we agree there is a physical horizon at 1.22 miles away, yes?
The apparent horizon does.
Okay, but the physical horizon is 1.
I'm talking to my fucking cat, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I'm trying to establish the physical horizon.
You're denying stuff, man.
I'm not denying it. We're going to get to that part.
Denial, heavy denial.
We can get to that part.
I've explained it to you so a child can understand, and you're still having problems.
Now, I understand this is very difficult for you to understand, but
no, I understand. You're proving that this is very difficult for you, because to admit that the Earth isn't flat admits that your God isn't real.
Well, I mean, if the Earth is a ball, and we have the evidence for that, that's not a big deal or problem for me.
Because
all I want to know is, Sean, is in your model, does it say the physical horizon is 1.22 miles away?
For you, so you'll feel special. You won't feel insignificant.
If the Earth isn't flat, your God's not real, and neither is the dodo bird.
So, Sean, I'm just trying to nail down this question, this point.
Now you're playing word games, and I'm done playing with you.
Oh, you had enough. See, Jeremy, this is why, for me, this can never, ever be a boring question or something that we should lose hope with, Jeremy. We can never, ever lose hope with this question, because once we nail them down to the physicality of the Earth, right?
I wouldn't mind whining Sean up for a while. That would be fun. What's up, Sean?
No matter what you see, no matter what you ever see, Chemo, they're always going to have an excuse
No,
for it.
not really, because there are no excuses here, Jeremy, other than ad homs from Sean now. So we can see that he didn't know how to use the sticks in the ground. We can see that he doesn't know where the physical horizon is. And we can see that he doesn't even know what the size of the radius of the Earth is, right? All I'm doing is asking a very simple question, is where is the physical horizon? Do we agree that in the model it's 1.22 miles away if you're 1 foot?
The benefit of the doubt is on us. The burden of proof is on you. Prove you're flat earth or shut the fuck up, man.
Well, we've proven that by the horizon extending for miles and miles and goes on and on as far as you like.
No, and this is why I call you dishonest. You know better, Chemo.
We've been able to demonstrate that the horizon obstructing. We've been able to demonstrate that the horizon obstructing mountains, boats, buildings is not physical.
Right. So a 300-foot long or tall boat, a shipping container boat, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
It has to go out, according to the law's perspective, the Rayleigh criterion, diffraction limit.
Yeah.
Would have to go out 500 miles to disappear.
That's all nonsense. Because, like I said, the obstruction.
That's according to the laws of perspective.
Yeah, throw it out. I did warn you about 6 months ago. We are rewriting everything that you've ever known. Now, everything that's obstructed, Sean, is not.
Because he's a coward. He won't let people finish because he knows they're right.
That's why you don't engage these clowns in actual attempted debate. They're disingenuous. They don't do it. Just mock and ridicule them. That's all.
Which he's doing, Curve, so I don't know what you're complaining about. All Sean's doing is ridiculing.
They won't face anybody outside of the record chamber because they know what happens. Step outside.
He's giving you information. You are the one that's lying and just doing stupid shit.
How can you lie by asking a question? Where is the physical horizon?
The lie is when you've been, is when the question's been answered and proven and given you evidence, and you keep asking it.
Oh my god!
Now, as much as I'm very good at listening, as much as I'm a good listener, I cannot listen to 2 or 3 at the same time, guys.
You have the brains of a goldfish, Chemo. You can't remember from one day to the next.
Not about remembering, it's about listening, Sean.
That's where the lie is. It's a lie of ignorance.
Now, Sean, all we're asking is very simple questions about the...
What? Prove you're flat earther. Shut up. I'm not answering any of your questions anymore.
Well, we've proven that the Earth is flat and continuous by the horizon not being physical. If the horizon is not physical, it means there was no dropping of the Earth behind any horizon point. Any horizon point you see on Earth, Sean, the Earth does not drop away behind it. Is that clear for you, Sean? There's your flat Earth proof.
I said I'm not answering your questions anymore.
I've just given you flat Earth proof. I've said to you that every single horizon point, the Earth does not fall away or drop away from any horizon, Sean. Any horizon point, the Earth does not drop away. There's your proof of a flat Earth. You have to prove that the Earth actually drops away from any horizon point. You can't do that.
We have. Nathan Oakley, on his show, he proves it with pictures of those windmills, that wind farm. He proves it every
Right, so you have to show with those wind farms, you have to show that the same amount of wind farm is covered.
We have shown you evidence, so shut up.
You'd have to show that those wind farms...
We've shown you evidence. You shut
That's
up.
not evidence. That's a quick snap.
Yes, it is.
No, that's a quick snap. Quick look at this, covered up. No, do some research. How about you stay there for 7 days and show that it's the same obstruction every day for 7 days? That's real research.
Is not a debunk.
Right, look at this picture here. A one-away, quick-time snapshot to deceive people. If they actually stayed there for 7 days, you would see more of the wind turbines, less of the wind turbines. Why don't you tell people about that, Sean?
Show us evidence of your flat Earth, or shut the fuck up.
Why don't you tell people the truth, Sean?
I've answered your questions. This shit has been shown to you. Now your turn.
I've just told you. Every horizon point...
You've denied everything presented.
Every horizon point that we observe, the Earth does not drop away at that point. Ever, anywhere.
It does.
Well, prove it then.
I'm sorry, it does. Boats going over the horizon.
What? So you think the Earth is going down at that point?
No questions. That's the proof. Now prove your flat Earth.
Well, I'm asking about your wild claim. You think the Earth is going down after the horizon?
My evidence. That's not evidence.
Sure, you've made a wild claim here. You've said after the horizon, the Earth starts to go downwards, vertically.
Disproving my evidence is not positive proof of your flat Earth. So go on with it, dude. Get on with it.
Okay, so what we have is we have a 1 foot observation where the horizon is extended for miles and upon miles, where we can see that what looks to be a physical...
That's part of the heliocentric model. Now, give me...
What's part of the heliocentric model? What's part of the heliocentric model and how?
Because it's refraction. It's part of physics.
Refraction? What kind of refraction?
What the fuck? Are you this dumb?
What kind of refraction are you talking about?
Looming.
So the horizon is looming over what?
So nothing, dude. It's looming. Now show your positive.
Well, I'm asking you, what is looming?
Individual positive proof of flat Earth. I'm done with you, dude.
What is looming?
It's been explained to him hundreds and hundreds of times.
Damn it.
I mean, why does he keep asking these same questions?
So, Sean, you can't just say gravity. You can't just say refraction without explaining what kind of refraction and what is refracting.
Looming, dude. I just told you.
What is looming?
It's part of refraction.
He's had it explained before.
It's not miraging. It's not mirroring. Okay.
I'm asking you, what is looming over what?
Shut up over anything.
So what is looming?
Jesus fucking Christ! Answer my fucking question. Prove you're flat Earth, or shut the.
You haven't answered my question. I've asked you what is looming. What object is looming?
Nobody wants to hear
your question, Sean.
Anymore, except for Nathan Oakley and Queen Eraser.
Sean, what object is looming? You can't just say the word looming without describing what object is looming.
Excuse me, Jeremy.
Water. The fucking water, asshole. What do you think the horizon's made of, dipshit?
The water is looming.
Jesus fuck.
Sean, it's better just to not say anything back, don't answer his question, and just until he addresses yours.
Sean, how do you have a looming? How do you have looming away from you, Sean?
Prove your goddamn flat Earth, man. Shut the fuck.
So you're just gonna make up the answer?
Don't respond. Wait for him to address your question. He's asked you about 20. It sounds fair that he should answer one of yours.
So you're gonna make up random answers, Sean, because you don't have a real answer in the real world.
Draw you in again.
What's Sean's question? It sounded like a demand.
Well, Sean doesn't have a question. We're trying to find out what kind of looming is happening when he says looming. Now, an object would have to loom over the horizon.
Didn't he? Black Swan. Black Swan.
No, because
so he hasn't explained which object is looming over which horizon.
It's still the presented evidence. They all say that, Ross.
Which is
you can invoke refraction right round the ball, can't you? So
is invocable within here. So they need positive evidence that is exclusive to a flat Earth.
Jeremy, can we go to a separate room?
So, Sean, you're having a hard time understanding the argument. And we have to kind of figure out and find out if your model is accurate like you tell us. Now, you say looming. You say refraction. All we're asking is what kind and what type and what object is looming over what? How on earth can you have a horizon looming away from the physical horizon?
Asked and answered.
I was gonna say chill a bit, King.
I'll just say this: open stellarium, pointed at the sky at night. It matches it perfectly. Stellarium was designed using the heliocentric model, so pissed off.
It matches the sky, so it was designed by the heliocentric model.
So, Jeremy, I hope you are paying attention, and I hope you are fully aware of how powerful the extreme power of the Black Swan argument, Jeremy. You see, what it does, it falsifies the model. It breaks down any idea of a physical horizon, any idea of a heliocentric model.
That's the issue, though.
All of what Sean has explained to us today about 69 degrees.
It doesn't break the model.
Hold on, last point. Last 10 seconds, 5 seconds, please. So, Jeremy, the idea is that any horizon that we ever see, the Earth does not drop away from that point onwards. That's the key here.
No, I know the Black Swan argument, but then he says refraction, then what? Like that got nowhere just now. I honestly don't even know why you're wasting your time with that guy, but
well, it's not wasting our time. Sean is well aware now that he doesn't have geometry. That's not a waste of time. To reveal to someone that the model is not a real thing, doesn't represent reality, and we can go out there at 1 foot and show that the horizon is not physical. Even if you show us wind turbines that are obscured from the bottom, you can't see the bottom. We know that if you were to wait there for a day or two, 7 days, whatever, that the horizon would move and you would see the bottom, or you would see none of the wind turbines, depending on the turbidity, depending on the suspended matter.
A wind turbine, the little tip of the blade exposed, will not be revealed 100% with. I don't care how much refraction you've got, dude. You're ignorant. You're
can't just throw the word refraction out if it's not refracted over a physical ball.
You're a philosopher.
When you say the word refraction, you're presupposing it's going around a ball. That's already a presupposition. The word refraction is a presupposition. That's the point. You'd have to show that the horizon itself is physical and things can actually bend around that physical horizon. But how can something bend around light that's on the move? It's on the move. It comes to us, moves away from us. You see, Curve gets it now, and this is how powerful the Black Swan argument is. Because you would have to show that what is refracting over what? How can something refract in midair? What are you talking about?
No, to debunk the black swan, you've got to show a greedy bastard that he's going to lose money if he admits reality. That's what it proves. It proves that Nathan Thompson is a dishonest son of a bitch, and so is Quantum Eraser and everybody else on that panel.
Dishonest how? How?
Magic camera.
Say how, Sean. How are they dishonest?
Of a measured object.
You can't say how though, can you? How are these people dishonest? How? You just throw out random words. Dishonest, refraction, gravity. Explain yourself, Sean. No, I don't have to explain myself
You
because
want me to address Nathan Oakley?
I'm a root in shooting American, and I get to say whatever. I'm a gun in root and shooting American. I get to say whatever I want anytime, right? You explain how they.
Shut up.
Sean, look, I know it's not.
They have conspired.
What?
Quantum Eraser, Nathan Oakley, Arwen, 10th Man Rising, Chocolate Saiyan, and whoever else all conspired over several shows to redefine the branches of science as pseudoscience that prove them wrong. That's how dishonest
That's not dishonest. That's having a
close
that's
look.
Absolutely
fucking dishonest.
Well, have you spoken to them?
Yeah, I emailed Nathan Oakley. If I said Nathan Thompson, I meant Nathan Oakley. I emailed Nathan Oakley saying, "Would you care to have a one-on-one debate on an open, fair forum?" He said, "Yeah, if you suck my dick." That was his response. That's how intellectually dishonest.
I love this story.
Shit is. Quantum Eraser.
That's Nathan and Curie.
That's a great story.
With an 11 Bravo MOS.
Nathan and Curie don't debate their position. They declare it and then assume they've won.
Yeah. And then they block you and boot you if you disagree with them. And Quantum Eraser told me to fuck off and block me on Discord. So that's how dishonest they are. That's how cowardly they are.
Yeah.
Well, if you're coming with a bunch, if you're coming to the Curie and Nathan with a bunch of presuppositions, like what you've just done with me, of course they're not going to take this kindly. They're going to say, well, hold on, how are you presupposing something that you haven't even demonstrated to be true?
He presupposes a flat earth. He presupposes a flat earth. His entire argument is a straw man. It's fallacious.
Well, we can presuppose flat earth because we observe it. It's not even a presupposition. We can see flat earth. We observe the earth being flat, right?
For it. All you have is presupposition with a flat earth. You have no evidence.
No, we observe a flat earth
because we can back up our claims with science and math and proofs.
So even when we go to 200,000 feet, we observe a flat earth. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Unique individual positive proof of flat earth. Go do it now. Show it me now.
Positive proof.
Show it me now. Share your pain.
Positive proof is the horizon is not physical and can extend for miles, thousands and thousands of miles. Also, positive proof is water. Water cannot curve.
Show your citation for this. Show the science behind this. Show your citation.
I put it to you. Yeah, I put it to you, Chemo, that on a flat Earth we cannot see far enough.
Yeah, you can't see far because of turbidity. Of course you can't. What are you talking about?
Turbidity? What?
No.
What are you talking about?
Based
you expect to see for miles and miles on a flat plane with lots of turbidity and suspended matter.
The only way you have turbidity in the air is when you have fog or.
Have you not watched my video where I explain to you turbidity and show the atmosphere is constantly on the move, constantly causing obstruction? So on a flat plane, you would only see yay far.
Normally a term for liquids when you're describing the optical properties of those liquids.
No. Simply to see from Mars on a flat plane, you would need a flat plane without atmosphere. Then you would see from one end to the other. Now, if you went to the ice wall, okay, where the atmosphere is not so dense, so if you're on the plateau, you would see for quite a long way. Yes. It's colder. You see?
If you just make it wavy, it shouldn't change it, right? You'd need what you.
No, because you remember you've got a lot of heat.
Earlier, what you said from your very words earlier.
Yeah.
You need curvature to create distortion through refraction.
No.
Right. So on a flat plane, you'd be looking.
It's just suspended matter. Yeah, it's not distortion.
So you'd have no distortion.
No, it's suspended matter.
If the Earth is flat,
3,000 miles away, right?
Hey, Wardy.
If the Earth is flat,
If the Earth
is flat,
not if the Earth is
then-
flat, not if.
Okay, if the Earth is flat, then it's a true statement to say that the only way that you can have drop on the horizon is if light bends away from it. Okay, go for it. Prove it.
No, that's fallacious.
Yeah.
Because you're basing your notion on a presupposed idea of what a flat plane without atmosphere would or wouldn't do. You can't do that. You have to go outside in the real world, go out in the actual real world, have a look at the real horizon, then show that the Earth actually physically drops from that point onwards. And what we can do, we can locate 9 miles away.
Say that again, Chemo.
So,
Chemo, say that again.
Okay, so what we're trying to show is that at the horizon, the Earth starts to drop away, go down, 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 down. Yeah,
you said it physically drops.
Yeah, physically.
Well done. Thank you. You accept the Earth is round. Thank you.
No, that's what we need to see.
We do see that.
That's exactly what you are seeing.
The horizon does
No. We see an illusion. We see an illusion, like a mirage, right?
So one of two things is happening.
Like Pontchartrain Bridge.
One of two things is happening, right? Either the light is bending up or the Earth is bending down. Which
None
is
of those
it?
things. No, you're wrong in all aspects. You don't know how the Earth works.
Okay. Explanation number 3 then. Go.
That's what we're trying to figure out right now.
No.
So you have no idea what's going on, yet you're claiming the Earth is flat. Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, we know it's not a ball curving around, and we know that the horizon is not physical, and we know that beyond that horizon point, the Earth doesn't drop.
You can't make that claim unless you understand what's going on when you take a picture of the horizon.
Of course we can understand that. We have the black swan. We see the horizon go in front of it and behind it.
You just admitted that you don't know what's going on.
About what?
You've got this picture and you have no idea what's going on in it. So your argument is the Earth is flat.
Hold on, sorry, which picture? Is it in the chat here?
The black swan picture.
Oh, black swan, yeah, that's simply suspended matter, yeah.
You're saying that, yeah, but when I say to you, look, one of two things is happening to cause drop. Either the Earth is curved down, or the light is curved up. Which is it? And you say it's neither. So you've got no explanation for what's actually going on, yet you're claiming that the black swan proves a flat Earth somehow.
It's just mirroring. A lot of reflections going on. That's what confuses you guys. The particulates in the atmosphere act like a mirror, you see, and give the illusion of water. So when you see a physical obstruction, what you think is a physical obstruction is actually just suspended particulates reflecting the surface of the water.
Okay. So where is the mirroring in the black swan?
So every single obstruction, so even when you see a mountain, the half of it covered, that is just a reflection of the surface that it's looking at.
No, it's not.
That's how powerful the black swan has demonstrated these things, yeah.
No, the black swan is an example of massive refraction, which is.
So she up for reason then.
That's physics, dude.
Show us any picture.
And are we allowed to gag her during?
Show us any
massive refraction.
You're
I'll supply the paper bag. It's fine.
The shape of the Earth with physics.
What?
You're trying to debunk the shape of the Earth with physics.
Can we gag you and he will.
What was that?
Sorry, I'm just insulting my wife's friend. It's nothing. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Right,
Apologies.
But you're
get
trying to
girls in here.
the shape of
I'll
the
tell them
Earth
about
with
how
physics.
religious you are on the speakers. That'll be funny.
Look at Mr. Reality's picture here. All of that surface is reflecting, it's doing a lot of mirroring here, right? So at that horizon point, it's just more reflections. Mirroring, not refraction, just reflection. So we've got
that's refraction.
Caught yourself, didn't you? Almost let that slip, didn't you?
Yeah,
You're
because
such a phony.
what we're doing, because
You're
we're so
such a
used to
fake-ass
saying it.
pro.
Took us a while to
You're a
stop saying the
fake-ass
word gravity,
pro, you know.
right? But
You're a contrarian. That's all you are. A contrarian.
no, all we do, we're scientists. We're guys who actually
No,
go out
you're
there,
not.
and I've actually been out there and done the
Blaspheme
measurements,
using
right?
that word.
Made the
That's
observations.
blasphemy, you using that word.
You're wasting your time. Chemo is not a real flat earther. There's other flat earthers out there that you might want to try to get to, but Chemo is not one of them. He's been doing this for a long time, and it's the same old act, and he's just a troll. That's all that it is. With a weird psychological dysfunction.
I would say don't bother talking to Sean Chemo because he's not a real globe earther. He's just a religious bigot who just preaches what he's learnt off Wikipedia, and he just does the same act over and over again.
Right.
Really? No. Sorry. I don't have
change your
faith
face,
in things without evidence, without proof. I don't have faith in things without proof.
Yeah, you do. You invoke
No,
and pre-assume everything to get to your model.
No.
Yeah.
Question for you guys.
Check my channel out, see if there's any faith in there. Buddy.
Your
So, I mean, look, just to
terrible,
kind of wrap it
terrible
up for a little bit. Look,
dogmatic
Sean, the
channel.
idea is that you might be on a ball. You've got to prove that, obviously. But the model, the heliocentric model that we have right now is now broken, flawed, doesn't work.
Debunk any of my videos there, Frog Boy, whoever you are. I don't show
How is it broken, Chemo?
There's nothing to debunk. It's just you raging about someone not agreeing with your religion. That's all it is. There's nothing
How
to
is it
debunk.
broken?
Because we don't have any
No,
geometry
it's
anymore,
not
Warden.
Sean.
Hang on.
Nothing there.
An
You
assertion was
falsified
made.
it.
How is it broken?
Because we were told the Earth has a radius of 3959. That means if you take a measurement from 1 foot, that means the physical horizon should be at 1.22 miles.
Right.
What we've been able to
And the
show...
physical horizon is at that point. Okay, brilliant. Next.
Yeah, that's it. In the model, that's the point. It's that. But what we found out in reality is that when you go out there, the horizon is not in the location that the model describes. That falsifies your model. That falsifies distance to the sun. That falsifies distance to the moon.
Model, that is not where the horizon is. Okay, brilliant. Next.
So that debunks your model. Should be it's not in the right place.
No, it doesn't.
It's not in the right place. It's in no place, as a matter of fact.
Your understanding from those statements that you just made is the horizon should be exactly where it is geometrically. And nothing about the globe model states that.
Yeah, that's what the heliocentric model states.
No, that's not. That's your misunderstanding of it that you've just debunked there. Well done. You strawmanned yourself.
No, we've been shown pictures or paintings, whatever you want to describe it, of the Earth, which comports with the 3959 physically, not atmospherically.
Yep.
And when you take measurements to back that up in the real world, you find the horizon is not where they tell it is.
Okay, so you think we measure the shape of the Earth by standing at sea level and measuring to a visual horizon?
No, you don't have to do it that way. No.
Okay, then why are you using that?
That's one method that we can use.
You said you don't do that? Why are you using that? Why are you using that as an example?
Because you'll notice. Because what you'll notice is that. What you'll notice is that
your black swan is fallacious.
What you'll notice is from Al-Biruni to Eratosthenes to Galileo to all of these people making calculations, Copernicus, all of these guys had methods of figuring out the size and radius of the Earth, right?
Right. Al-Biruni stood on a mountain where there's
I'm just saying, that's one method. Now, we could figure out by going to the beach at 1 foot and say, hey, there's the physical horizon. That would mean we can times how much the Earth would drop from that point and figure out how big the Earth is. And it should turn out at 3959. That's just another way of doing it.
Another example of how idiotic they are on Quantum Racer and Nathan's show. They said that if that would make the Earth 250,000 mile radius and it would just bump into the moon. You know how far the moon is measured? It's measured from the surface of the Earth. So the moon would still be 240,000 fucking miles away from the surface of the Earth, even if it was 250,000 miles in diameter. You dumb
What
bitch.
we would need somebody who's smart, clever, to use geometry, go out there and try and figure out, the size and shape of the Earth. Stop saying we have. Who has? Post it. Let's have a look. Who we where? Who we where?
All right, I'm going to break Spurs. Why are you lying?
About what?
About people have told you about the horizon. This has been known for centuries. Robotham, for fuck's sake, knew refraction would affect the horizon. Why don't you?
Robotham.
Shut up about it and stop making falsities.
Yeah, Robotham didn't have a P100,000 in those days.
He didn't need one.
Of course he did.
No. Not to know that the atmosphere would have an effect on where the horizon is visible.
In those days...
You keep saying that there's only the one horizon, and you know darn well that's just an outright lie. Discussion over.
In those days, did they know about turbidity? Nope. Exactly.
Topic over. New topic. You've lost this one.
Where in his papers does it say turbidity? And Robotham.
Does it need to say that?
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't.
You understand the atmosphere and what you're looking at? Of course you do.
No?
You have no idea what turbidity is, man.
Yeah, that's particulate suspended in the atmosphere. Of course we know what it is.
Okay, what impact does that have?
Well, that has a huge effect on the horizon. It gives you mirroring, it gives you reflection, it gives you the illusion that things are disappearing bottom first.
Excellent. So give me a formula that explains turbidity over distance.
Oh, formula. Lemon. Lemon, are you here? Lemon's not here. When Lemon comes, hopefully, Lemon will be able to calculate these things. But he's our resident flat Earth mathematician in the flat Earth community. But right now, no, I can't give you any calculations for that. But we can give you the practical side of that, and we can show you with the Black Swan where the horizon on different days, same height, same location, we can show you the obstruction on one day and then no obstruction on the next day. We haven't changed height. We didn't go closer. We showed that the obstruction was simply suspended matter.
So you've claimed that turbidity is responsible for both drop and for visible distance and for the distance of the horizon. So 3 things turbidity is responsible for. So there should be a mathematical equation that explains what we would expect to see under certain conditions based on turbidity. And if
you couldn't,
and if I adjust the turbidity value.
Turbidity is the cloudiness or haziness of a fluid.
The only way you could know that is
individual particles that are generally invisible to the naked eye, similar to smoke in air. The measurement of turbidity is a key test of water quality.
Let's think about that, Wardy.
Suspended solid matter consisting of particles of many different sizes, while some suspended matter will be large enough to be heavy and settle rapidly to the bottom of the container of a liquid sample.
I'm talking about atmospheric turbidity. I don't think you're the person that should be talking about.
Oh no, don't worry about it. But Wardy, let's not. Wardy,
I'm not saying we should know the.
Wardy, look, Wardy, listen a second. Look, let's take a plastic box container, right? Now, if we were to control how much atmosphere was in that box, we would know the calculations of where the molecules would be and when, and because we could see. So you're asking me to look outside of the box, essentially, and find out how many particles are entering the box. Yes.
Nope.
That's what you have to do to figure out how.
Nope.
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Well, then how can you give you an equation then?
If you've got a formula for turbidity and you say, okay, I'm estimating that the turbidity is within this range, I can then perform the calculations of what I expect to see based on that range of turbidity values. And if those expectations match up with my formula, I know my formula is representative of what we're seeing in reality. In other words, if your description is correct and what your definition of turbidity can be defined as mathematically is correct, then it will show something and it will make a prediction.
No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because it's constantly it's constantly moving. So you wouldn't be able to calculate where it's going to be at what time and when. You'd have a rough estimate, but you wouldn't be able to pinpoint it mathematically now.
So when you have less
because math deals with concrete. It has to be concrete, right? So you can't have the horizon. You can't have the horizon. You can't have the horizon, Wardy, moving in one place and then you calculate another place.
Kimo, there is a whole field of mathematics that's got nothing to do with specifics in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it's all entirely about the probability of something happening. Do you know what that is?
No, because maths can prove things, right?
If you have less turbidity in the air, right?
Math doesn't prove things.
Go over the horizon, it makes things.
Hold on. Wardy, you're saying math doesn't prove things, no?
It means
we can't prove things, Wardy, with maths, no?
You can't see as far when you have less turbidity.
Think about that, Wardy, yeah? What you've just said here.
Hang on, Sean. I want to address what he's saying, right?
All right.
You can have a mathematical proof which proves whether or not something is logically sound.
Yeah.
And you can have a mathematical explanation of an observation in reality that can model that observation.
Yeah. Okay.
That doesn't prove anything. It just shows that your model is representative of what you're seeing. What we're asking you for is we have a globe model that's full of maths that explains exactly what we see in reality. It works to the point where people like Walter Bisling can build web-based tools that can show us what's happening in reality. So if it's that simple and turbidity is really a thing, then you should be able to mathematically model it and show what you're talking about.
Well, this is the point. Your mathematics model physicality, the physical horizon, the physical points of the Earth, the circumference.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah, it would measure the circumference. Well, of course it does. You tell us how much should or shouldn't be seen. You can give us to the point of how much we should see of a building or not. Right?
The physical shape is only a piece of the formula. What you're missing, Chemo, is the obvious fact of refraction, which adjusts that from our perspective.
I'm telling you, Chemo, you get nowhere. You get it's.
No, I think we are getting somewhere, because what we're trying to explain to Wardy is mathematics does not represent the real world. And we've demonstrated that where you guys have tried to calculate the size of the Earth using maths, and when we go out there in the real world, you failed. So you asking for a calculation is not going to do anybody any good, because you cannot use maths to describe the world that we live in. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give you an example. The Pythagorean theorem talks about triangles.
Right.
Okay? Okay. C squared is always equal to, on a right-angled triangle, a squared plus b squared. Okay?
Right.
Show me a triangle in reality where that law does not apply.
No, show me that in nature, and then we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Not from your head. In nature.
Yes. Show me a triangle in reality where that is not true.
No, show me that in nature, what you're talking about, and then we can go forward and discuss it.
Nature. You measure it. If you make a triangle that...
I heard what he said. I'm asking him to show what he said in reality.
You can measure it, and you can see that in nature it won't work. It only can work that way. Sorry.
So let's have a look.
What, at a triangle? Draw a triangle with a ruler with 3 equal sides, and there you have it. That's your triangle in nature.
What, you're going to build a triangle and say that's your triangle in nature?
Right. You measure it. Then you take those measurements and you calculate.
So you see, Wardy, we already have problems here trying to describe how we're going to design this triangle which we've constructed. You see?
No, Chemo, what we have is an understanding here. Is the problem that you've got is your understanding. You can't accept.
But I want you to show me how you're using mathematics in the real world. In nature. I don't mean to buy a loaf of bread. I'm talking about how you've measured something in the real world, a cloud, the sun, rain, lightning.
You're telling me that triangles aren't real at this point.
I didn't say that. I didn't say we can't use them to buy a loaf of bread. I'm saying in nature.
So triangles are not natural. They don't appear in nature.
Show me how you've done this.
There's no such thing as a natural triangle. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you how you applied what you've just spoken of in nature.
Mathematics.
That's right, big site. Right? We're not buying bread and milk
triangles. You're telling me that you cannot find a triangle in nature.
I didn't say that, Wardy.
Well, that's your argument. Maths is bullshit because it doesn't happen in nature.
I asked you to apply what you've just said, mathematics in nature. Show it working right now.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, show it then. Where's the timestamp? Where's your measurement?
Go and have a look at Walter Bislin's Earth Curve code. There you go. Go and have a look at the JavaScript code behind that calculator, because I've looked at it and I've been a programmer for 20 years and it doesn't look wrong to me.
Okay, can you show me then what you've seen in nature?
Chemo, look in the chat. I posted 2 pictures for you.
Yeah, I'd love to look at the chat, but I can't.
You keep dancing around the subject, Chemo. It's not for us to show you things. Now is the time for you to show us.
So, Wardy, why don't you just concede? You see, Jeremy, this is not a big problem, you see, because when you recognise that they don't have any foundation, they don't have any mathematics.
Please shut the fuck up while I finish my sentence.
I'm trying to respond to Wardy, but go ahead, Sean.
Jump in when I'm fucking done, right? This is not the time for us to be showing you things. This is the time, remember, for you to be showing positive, unique, positive proof of your flat Earth. Now go.
What is positive proof?
If you don't know that, then what the fuck are you doing?
No, I'm asking you, what is positive proof?
Stop claiming that the globe is broken. Start proving that the flat Earth is flat. And
what is positive proof to you of a flat plane?
That are unique.
What, do you want a photograph of the flat plane?
Or are you taking a plumb bob
Oh, you want me to travel to the wall, the ice wall, with a P1000 and say, here's the ice wall? What is positive proof to you, Sean?
I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you if you shut the fuck up, Chemo.
Sean, give me a minute.
Like going out and taking two auto levels, face miles apart.
Nah.
And pointing at each other and not getting a fucking deflection.
That's not positive proof, Sean, of physical Earth curving. That's your problem. Wardy, what were you saying?
Level does used like that. Most certainly does.
That's not positive proof.
Chemo, why don't you?
There's no positive.
I gave you an example.
There's no positive proof of flatness, because in the same way that you're saying curvature has never been measured, so what? Flatness has never been measured.
Well, you're the one asking for positive proof of a flat Earth. What kind of positive proof do you want?
Well, that's one example. Go and measure flatness.
So you want someone to go and measure the Earth being flat?
Yes.
That's never going to happen.
Footage from the dome.
It's never going to happen because there's a military, arm that is defending the edge of the Earth. Right? That's never going to happen.
Timestamp.
To get that out of your mind, get that out of your expectations, nobody's going to go from one end of the flat Earth to the other to measure it until we all join together like an army and take out the Antarctic Treaty there.
Timestamp of somebody being turned away by the military.
By what?
By the military.
What do you want? A timestamp of what?
People turned away from Antarctica by the military.
Or from the dome.
Oh, that's classified, Moyak. You can't see that because you're a snitch.
How do you know about it then? How do you know about it?
Because we're privy to that information.
How do you know about
because we do research and we're privy to information. People like Moyak could never know about these things at this moment. At this moment, Moyak, this would be classified for people like yourself. You would never be out. You would never ever be allowed to know about the ice wall, the measurements, and the armies.
That classified information.
So the argument that's always levied at us globe-tards, so to speak, is that the Earth is obviously and observably flat. Well, go and observe it then, and show us the data.
What data? Mathematics do not prove reality.
Exactly. You've got no data, therefore
because
you've got no proof that the Earth is
reality.
flat.
Mathematics does not prove anything.
Cock. You're such a cock.
Look, you demonstrate, Wardy, mathematics proving there's distance to the sun, the moon, stars, the Earth, any planet, anything in nature. You show that you can measure a rainbow, a cloud, rain. Show what you can do with your mathematics. What can you do?
Can you show me? When you look right
you can
now
do
today,
nothing, Wardy. This is my point. Mathematics does not prove any size of objects in the sky. You can never do that, ever. You could never show the size of the Earth with mathematics, ever.
We've done it.
Right now, show me right now, Wardy, that you can do it.
You can't do it. We've done it.
You wouldn't understand it, Chemo.
Well, let's hear it. Somebody might understand it. I might understand it. Let's hear what you've got.
Well, Chemo, I mean, can you measure the size of your asshole without using a mirror?
What, Uranus? Is that a planet?
Yes.
Measure that. What's
Are
the
you
distance?
saying your ass is a planet?
We have.
Well, there you go, you see? And that's what we're talking about. Where's Jeremy? Jeremy, you could never, ever tire or be bored. When you know you have the truth, and these guys may have the truth. We're waiting to see if they have the truth. They may have a measurement. We're waiting to see if they have a measurement. Waiting for a picture of the ball. They may have a picture of the ball. But as it stands at the moment, asking a very simple question about, well, how big's the Earth is a very, very difficult question to answer.
No, we've given you the shape. Now it's your turn to prove that it's not that shape.
Any thoughts on the image I posted?
The image? Well, where
you talked about this and you said this would be definitive proof and it would make you think it was a ball if I showed you this.
Anyways, we've been going for a good bit of time. We're going to wrap this up now. Jeremy, you want to take this question on?
Do you dance for nickels in pubs? There, Chemo. It sounds like you're the kind of guy that would just to entertain people.
Okay, how much is QE paying you, Chemo, to chill out like this?
Yeah.
No, because we've been going for over an hour and 20 minutes now.
Oh, we dodged the question, and it must be true.
Yeah.
We're gonna We're going to take a rain check, and then we're going to
you know what
resume next time. So the black swan's a very powerful argument. It shows there's no geometry. And,
God, you're a fucking pitiful piece of shit. You know that?